Hi everyone, hello, welcome to Ethiopia. I realized I forgot to do my intro in the last video, so I was like, I have to do it this time. My name is Ezichi Phoebe, and this is A to Z with Ezichi. It's a mini series on my channel where I go through each letter of the alphabet and I talk about something that means something to me. Today we're discussing Christianity in Nigeria. Where do I even begin? Where do I start? In fact, let me start here.
Remove the shoe. Remove the shoe.
Shoe no wrong, one shoe no wrong.
Take your passport. Take your passport. Take your passport.
Yeah, that should give you an idea of what we are going to be going through today in regards to this topic. Per usual, if you see me looking down, I'm looking down at my iPad because I have my points written down here this time, not winging it. Before I begin, let's ask the question of the day. Am I the best person to discuss Christianity in Nigeria? Do I go to church every Sunday? Do I read my Bible every day? Do I know everything there is to know about Jesus Christ, our Lord and Savior? Let he who has not sinned cast the first stone. Oh, look at me. Untouched. Exactly. My credentials, the things that qualify me to speak or have an opinion on this topic. Well, I was born into a Christian family. I believe that there is a God, the Almighty. My dad is a deacon, my mom is a deaconess. They get elected every single time against my personal desire, but okay, that's a topic for another day. I'm not here to preach. I'm just here to provide an analysis based on my experiences and informed research on this topic. Let's see if it will take only 15 minutes for me to discuss this topic because there is a lot. Christianity in Africa. A lot of people have this misconception that Christianity is the white man's religion. They came and they destroyed our traditional practices. But actually, there are various mentions of Christianity in Africa in the Bible. First of all, Egypt. Downplay. We were there. Not we, but like, they were there. And there was the Ethiopian Eunuch. He was mentioned. Ethiopia was mentioned like full on in the Bible. And then you know Simon of Cyrene? Well, Cyrene is modern day Libya. So yeah, Christianity has always had its roots. No, I won't say its roots, but it's always had its branches in Africa. So don't think it's just this vice that came to destroy us. We'll get back to that, but that's just me giving you an idea. Now, to localize it, Christianity in Nigeria. Most people think Christianity was introduced to Nigeria by the British. However, it was actually introduced by the Portuguese since like the 15th century. Before slave trade was a thing, before everyone was trying to conquer everybody's nations and whatnot, although conquering of nations has been going on for millennia, whatever. Before proper colonialism, there was trade, regular commercial trade of commodities and not human beings. So the Portuguese came to Nigeria in the like mid 16th century and they did bring Christianity with them, but I guess it didn't gain as much traction then, and then they left. They didn't steal anybody, they didn't force anybody to subscribe to their beliefs. Then our Odogus,
President General among the nation. President General among
the British, they came in the 19th century. And they came with colonialism. They came with slave trade. They came with not forced, but it was an illusion of choice. Their missionary activities. Because, obviously we had our African traditional religion, which we practiced in different parts of Nigeria at the time. And they just came and they were like, you know what? Babalawo, you're fired. Sorry. I'm not gonna kill 5 virgins for you no more. And I'm grateful. Hey, I'm not complaining. Anyways, they did in fact abolish basically African traditional religion, and Christianity did take off when the British people came over and preached and brought their doctrines and gave us this illusion that, you know what, this is what I believe, it's smarter than yours. Imagine how uninformed our forefathers were to be fascinated by guns and mirrors and such. So obviously, if this person comes and tells you, I'm superior to you in every way possible, to me, you are a monkey, that means the God I believe in is definitely better than your God. I can imagine that working on our ancestors, to be very honest, especially with the way Nigerians reason today. Religion was used as a tool to first colonize the minds of the people. They came with their guns first, right? And they forced us to conform. After that, they preached this religion of love, this religion of trust, cohabitation, community, and they used that to subject our forefathers, to subject their minds to be more susceptible to colonialism, to the ideologies that they were bringing in, to deceive, to steal, kill, and destroy. Not very Christian of you guys. And to be very frank, there are various mentions of slavery in the Bible. Does that mean God endorsed slavery? I don't want to be blasphemous or nothing, but it's giving that. I think for the most part, slaves in the Bible were treated properly, and those who were subjected to horrible treatment were mostly war captives, not necessarily ethically obtained slaves. I'm speaking in terms of the time, in terms of that era. Religion has an indelible hand in colonization. It was used in conjunction with modern technology and advanced ammunition to colonize African minds and bodies into subservience. This is why I don't really fault African atheists and pagans. Don't get me wrong. I believe in God. I have this conviction that He is real. But then when people say, oh, I don't believe in God, whatever, I'm not really inclined to force them to believe, because if I wasn't born into a Christian household, if I never got my chance to experience God for myself, it would be pretty difficult to convince me that there's a higher power in existence that lets all these evil things happen. Inasmuch as I desire salvation for them, I understand how the human mind works. I can tell that there are certain sentiments that once they're ingrained in you, it will take a personal experience to change your mind about them. So honestly, I do wish them the best, and I hope they have their personal encounters with God. In summary, Christianity in Nigeria, especially amongst disparaged people, is akin to mental slavery. Relax, okay? The thing is, what we practice as Christianity has so many loopholes. It's like, oh, this is happening, but you're not allowed to question it because you will go to hell. You do this, you do that, you can't do this, you can't do that. There are so many different denominations, so many different beliefs. This is right, this is wrong. At the end of the day, we don't know who is actually right. There's a lot of confusion. I really do hope that the base message, which is in the Bible, is what we take home and what we practice. Fun fact, one thing I learned, which I didn't know before my JUPEB exams, I don't know if I'm just ignorant, but we did CRS in JUPEB, and I learned that there are the canonical books and the non-canonical books. So the canonical books are the books that theologists searched, read, went through, and approved to be put in the current Bible. Whereas the non-canonical books are the books that were basically thrown out. So who knows how much information we're missing? Who knows how much context we don't have? There are a lot of questions to be asked, guys. I've never read any of the canonical books. I just know some of their names. They sound very fairy tale-y. There's one that is Dragon of something. I mean, what? Thank you. The commercialization and trivialization of Christianity. Let's begin with commercialization. Pastors are making bank, flying private jets, driving luxury cars. This was never the plan. I can't imagine myself working hard, being in a church where the pastor is driving a luxury car. Okay, let's say you have a luxury car. Being a pastor is a job, and it's not an easy one at that. You're flying a private jet? You have a private jet, and I'm hungry. Oh! Okay, I'm Pentecostal. The church I attend doesn't have like a daddy GO. There's no centralized person that just woke up one day and started the church. It was a group many years ago. So we have this democratic system where we elect people periodically to rule the church. Am I saying it's even better than people with daddy GO? Churches have become businesses. They are selling you an idea and you're paying for it in form of tithe offering. This wasn't the plan. I don't know everything. Like, I haven't read my Bible cover to cover. So feel free to fact check me, to inform me. This is just from my knowledge, my experience, my research. And what I have seen is that churches lack love. Churches lack community. Nobody knows what's going on in the next person's life. But then, as long as Daddy G.O. has eaten. In fact, some of the prophecies that they give are so general and so applicable to millions. Obviously, there's nothing you say that is awfully specific, except it's an actual prophecy from God. But then some of these pastors are like, somebody here is going to receive money today. I'm like, okay, girl, we all have bank accounts. So yeah, somebody here is going to receive money. Come on. It's really negatively impacting people's belief in God. Because where do we draw the line? How do we even distinguish false prophets from real prophets at this point? Honestly, it's only discernment that can save you. Because there might be somebody that you believe in with your whole heart, with your whole chest, that could be false. So operate with that mindset. Realize that maybe this person might not really be endowed spiritually. He could be like a really good actor. So just bear in mind that Christianity is a personal race, and you're not running behind your daddy G.O. You're not going to go to heaven and say, God, do you know Pastor so-and-so? Yeah, oh, he's my master. And you think God will be like, oh, later. No, ma'am. It has to be just you on your own deciding that this is what I want for myself. And the issue with that is that we can now begin to pick and choose what we subscribe to within the Bible. It's very dangerous. That's why I'm saying that there are so many loopholes. It's very scary, honestly, Christianity in general. But then when we now bring up Christianity in Nigeria, you can tell I'm very passionate about this topic because I have a lot of reservations. In my church, for instance, I want to give an example of a doctrine that I don't exactly agree with. In my church, the way they treat wearing trousers as a woman. Oh, Jesus Lord. I remember my first day in teens church. I was 13. My first Sunday in teens church. We were a large group, and then one of the officiators picked up the mic. She was just giving us general advice. She was welcoming us. Then she said, oh, before I forget, if I see any of you here outside wearing trousers, I will embarrass you. If I see you on the road wearing trousers, I will embarrass you. I will pull it down. Like, she didn't say if I see you in church. Okay, we understand that that's a church doctrine. Weird. But we understand that that's a church doctrine. That's fine. Okay, let me obey you. But then, if you see me outside on the road, you embarrass me. Who sent you? Even when Jesus corrected people, he was in the temple. That's when he flogged people. You can't see me on the road in my trousers, in my joints, and you want to take them off because, oh, God has appointed you now head of dressing. It's time to find something doing. No offense to you, ma. I'm speaking generally, but yes, you're the one I have in mind. If you see this woman's children, some of these people are just projecting. Because if your children were obedient to you, you wouldn't feel the need to force other people's children to conform to your ideas. Oh, sha, to each their own. Me, I don't know everything. And with the commercialization of Christianity has come the trivialization of Christianity as a religion. Because if everybody's doing it as a business, it's now a competition. Capitalism has infiltrated the church. Everybody's trying to sell you this idea that when you join their church, when you start paying offering, when you start paying tithe, all of a sudden, your life is gonna change. Oh, pastor, this, I know. When I joined you, when I touched this, blah. I don't think I'm trying to make fun of what is going on here. I'm just trying to call out those who are deliberately taking advantage of the hunger of Nigerians. It's actually so painful to me because you're seeing that these people are poverty stricken. You're seeing that they can barely make ends meet. You're seeing that they can't eat. You're taking money from them to widen and fatten your pockets. And you're not just taking money from them like, oh, come and buy this, my waist trainer. Come and buy this, come and buy that. At least, if you were selling them a commodity, they will be getting something tangible in return. You're selling them ideas. That is bottom barrel behavior. And if you are a pastor, you're deliberately lying with a microphone to hundreds and sometimes thousands of people. What's coming for you? It's not me that'll tell you, you'll see. I just hate it when people are taken advantage of. I'm like, why are you doing that? Oh, gosh, I'm not your little girl anymore. Sorry. Fun fact, Nigeria has the largest Christian population in Africa. Which ordinarily, this is a thing of joy, right? It would have been if we were doing it right. There are churches on every street, churches of every denomination. Some are wearing white, some are wearing black, some are wearing red, some are wearing shoes, some aren't wearing shoes, some are fixing their nails, some don't take drugs. I just made a list of things that I have seen in the church that have made me want to just take a big step back and look at everything again. Sometimes pastor will tell you, bring a broom to church, sweep your problems away. Another pastor brought people's perfumes to church to pray over their perfumes. Some pastors pray against bone straights. Some pastors are telling you that 5G cellular connection is devilish. Okay. Pastors are sucking the cancer out of their members' boobs. Some pastors are not letting women wear trousers. But then what will happen in the winter? I don't know. Maybe because you don't have winter here. This is controversial. But dressing like your miracle. There's faith. And faith without works. We know that. We've established that. But then we need to apply discernment. I can't remember the philosopher that gave this quote that religion is the opium of the people. So just imagine your flesh is disintegrating. You've been exposed to some kind of chemical that is causing your skin to peel off of the bone. Religion is a plaster placed on the skin while it falls off. Who does that help? Especially in countries like Nigeria. Certainly not you and I, but definitely our politicians who will loot and embezzle, steal before our eyes, commit all kinds of assault, and go away scot-free. Then the next election they will come and then they will campaign in your church and your pastor will pray over them. And then when they win, they will thank God and they will continue from where they stopped. That's where we are now. It's only God that can judge, not me. I don't have the credentials for that. But I will tell you that we need to wake up as a society, as a community. We need to realize that these people, by these people, I mean false prophets. They're not here to help you. They're not going to do anything to positively impact your life. They're just going to keep telling you to pray. We've been praying since 2016, almost 10 years. And things have only gotten progressively worse. I don't want to bring God into it because I believe that He's real. But are prayers falling on deaf ears? If you bring it up now, they'll tell you end times. Let's not speak on that. Don't even get me started on religion and the patriarchy. If you want to know about this, just tell me. That would be a video on its own. But then Christianity inherently entrenches patriarchal values. So as a modern woman, I can tell you it's so difficult to strike a balance on what I have come to learn, what I have believed, what I have adopted as my truth, and what is being prescribed from thousands of centuries ago that has gone through so many forms of translation that I am now supposed to live by. I'm not trying to discredit the Bible. Don't get me wrong. Who is King James? I don't know him. I didn't Google him before this. What if he's a liar? Here we are with his version of the Bible. Just chilling. Like, yeah, King James Version, New International Translation, New Living Translation, new this, new that, new blah, new blah. One thing that I learned that has made me very cautious is the fact that in the original, is it Hebrew? Was the Bible originally written in Hebrew? I can't remember. I think so. The first word in Genesis is the. It starts with like the beginning. But for us, it's in the beginning. Because, you know, translation, some things will get lost, some things will go missing, some things will be wrongfully interpreted. At the end of the day, like, how do we know what is real and what is not? This is a question for you guys, because till today, I really can't tell you. Another thing, while practicing Christianity, are we also meant to do traditional weddings? Because you can balance the faith and the law. So you can do a white wedding and a court wedding. But by virtue of the fact that you're African as well, you will want to do a traditional marriage. Me, I want to do a traditional marriage. I don't even know if it's right. I don't know if it's allowed. There's so many things that are just not clear enough for my personal satisfaction. But if you're cool with it, I'm happy for you. I've highlighted a lot of issues with Christianity in general, Christianity in Africa, Christianity in Nigeria. Now, some solutions that I personally apply. Number one, lead with love. Religion was never meant to be hateful, or at least Christianity specifically. Let me speak on what I know of. Christianity was never meant to be hateful. The greatest command is love. God practices love. Jesus practices love. So that is the main thing. That's the basic thing. If you can love yourself, then love your neighbors the way you love yourself. You've done 50% of the work. Then you need to have a teachable spirit. I must admit I struggle with this sometimes. We're human. Sometimes we believe that what we know is right and trumps everybody else's opinion, whatever. But you need to be willing to learn and open your mind to new things so you can make informed decisions. Pray for discernment. If you don't pray for food, if you don't pray for provision, if you don't pray for protection, kneel down and pray for discernment in everything that you do, in your decision making, when it comes to church, in your decision making, when it comes to what you will eat, where you will go. Like, just involve God in everything. Like, do I have the best stellar life? Are you going to judge me after this video? Have your fun. But personally, I try my best not to align myself with things that just don't feel right. Like, sometimes it might be the flesh. So you need to pray for discernment so you know that it's actually God you're listening to and not nearby voices. Lastly, religion is not the entire absence of logic. Sometimes stop and think. Would Jesus actually tell me to sweep my problems away? Would Jesus tell me to spray my perfume in the air and pray over it? Would he? Because before Jesus came, miracles involved so much more work. For God to do something in your life, you have to climb this mountain with your son, attempt to kill your son. You have to listen to this burning bush. You have to drop your stick. You have to bring a stick. There was a lot of effort on our part. But then when Jesus came to mitigate, he came with ease. He was turning water to wine like this, like, now it's wine. Yeah. Have a bowl, guys. When Jesus came, he was like, walk. Person, walk. If Jesus wasn't here, I'm sure he'd be like, tumble down this hill. When you get to the bottom, you stand up and go. But then when Jesus came, it became a matter of, come, let me to try. Or just touch my dress, you'll be fine. I don't think this struggle we're doing is really ideal for the image God had for us, but I don't know his mind. So let's see. I don't know. In conclusion, I actually have a question for you. Do you think all biblical stories are literal, or do you think some of them are allegorical? Like, do you think they are symbolic? Because what if Jesus was just gisting? What if he was just giving instances and analogies and now we're taking it as fact? What if? We will never know. We will know. We're not there. Aside things that can be traced by like archaeologists and historians and theologians, there are so many things that we cannot commemorate. Is that the word? Yeah. There's so many corroborate. There's so many things that we cannot corroborate that we don't know if they're true or not. So we will never know.
I guess we'll never know.
Tell me, what do you guys think? Do you think all biblical stories actually happen? Do you think some of them are just tales? Thank you guys for coming along with me to discuss Christianity in Nigeria. If there was any area where I was disrespectful, I sincerely apologize. And if there's any area where I was a bit narrow-minded, please feel free to inform me in the comment section on anything I may have missed out or anything that I wasn't clear enough about. If you want a follow-up video, let me know. I hope that you've been able to learn some things from this video, and I hope that as we move forward, you will apply discernment in each and every action you take, especially in regards to your religion and your lifestyle as a Christian. Thanks for coming along with me for this episode of A to Z with Ezychology, where we discuss Christianity in Nigeria. See you guys next time. Bye.